public financial management and public procurement for more efficient use of public resources. And 2, enhance the Bahamas' capacity to monitor the progress and implementation of key government priorities. 4 components with specific goals and deliverables were developed to achieve the objectives mentioned above. And they are component 1, performance monitoring, to strengthen management capacity of public sector to monitor priority projects and programs more efficiently and effectively. With the enactment of the Statistics Act in July 2021, provisions were made for the development of a National Statistics System, NSS, which shall consist of producers of official statistics, including the newly formed Bahamas National Statistical Institute, government ministries, department, public bodies that produce, collect, and disseminate official statistics. In formalizing the NSS, the Act states that the National Statistical Committee shall be appointed by the BNSI Board and chaired by the Managing Director of BNSI. Department of Statistics made a name for itself locally, regionally, internationally, becoming one of the pioneering statistical agencies within the Caribbean. In recent years, the Bahamas have also had the opportunity to sit on several United Nations committees, the latest being the high-level group of partnership, coordination, and capacity building for statistics for the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. As a member of this committee, the Bahamas and St. Lucia represented CARICOM as a region. Finally, membership in the SCCS affords the staff of the department many training opportunities through workshops, departmental attachments, and other technical assistance and consultancies both in the region and internationally.
I'm Carissa Williamson, and this has been Your Government in Action, a proud presentation of Bahamas Information Services. Join us on Tuesday evenings where we bring you highlights, coverage, and information as we continue to do what we do best, linking people and government.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, Grand Bahama residents share their views on the naming of the administrative complex in honor of the late Honorable Obi Wilshcombe. Also, government officials say the South Bimini Airport redevelopment signals their commitment to island-wide upgrades. We have the details. And a bizarre accident at East Mall Service gas station involving a single vehicle. Those stories plus the latest in sports in the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, a special naming ceremony for the administrative complex in 8 Mile Rock is slated to take place on Monday, November 13th. The government has revealed its intentions to name the complex in honor of the late Honorable Obi Wilshcombe. Tonight, Grand Bahama residents are endorsing the naming of the administrative complex in his memory, extolling it as a fitting tribute to the Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini and the former Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting.
I think it's time that we start naming these buildings and schools and other common, local public places after persons who are deserving of it.
The administrative complex in 8 Mile Rock will be named in honor of the late Honorable Obi Wilshcombe. Louis Thurston, a resident of Grand Bahama, believes that it is time the buildings of significance and the streets be named after honorable individuals who are deserving.
I don't believe there can ever be a better choice. He's more deserving of it than anybody else that you can think about. You know, it'll really be it'll be a no-brainer for me to even suggest anything negative about that.
It's a great thing. You know what I mean? He was a good man. You know, the person is a good person. You give him what his rightfully is. You know, he done a great job for the Bahamian people. You know, they appreciate him.
Residents of 8 Mile Rock sharing similar sentiments, underscoring the support for the naming of the complex in Wilshcombe's honor.
We wore the PLP banner. You know, he was someone that could cross party lines if you needed help. On top of that, he is the son of the soil, and being that that's one of the biggest projects we had here in 8 Mile ever, I think it should be rightfully named after someone from the Western District. I think it's a good choice they made in that.
I have no problem with that. Obi was a decent person, you know. Like I said, all the stuff, the total line, like he said, you know, no matter which side you are on politically, he'll help you, you know. He's a decent fellow.
Obi's a good man. I have no problem with that. Couldn't find a better person to name that after. Yeah, truly a good man.
Amidst questions raised by some regarding the timing, with concerns of it being tied to political strategies ahead of a by-election, these individuals firmly assert that there is no more opportune moment for this gesture.
Like I say, what time is the best time, you know?
It couldn't have been a better time because the by-election is because of his death. He's the one who was in the area, and because of that, you can't find a better time to do it than now.
When would be the right time? What I say is, you know, it's been overdue for the opening, but this time is just as good as any.
Well, the redevelopment of the South Bimini International Airport reaffirming the government's charge to upgrade Family Island airports across the country. Scores of investors, developers, and residents of Bimini gathering at the George Weish complex to witness the signing of the airport contract. The Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister, followed by other government officials, were also in attendance, rating the multi-million-dollar deal proof of the government's commitment towards building on progress and strengthening national economic and personal security. Jolanda Thompson-Everest reports.
Expansion is on the way for the South Bimini International Airport. The Bimini Airport Developing Managing Partner is signing an $80 million contract with the airport authorities. And good news, work is expected to happen soon. The new airport will include an elevated passenger terminal, a newly designed domestic and international arrival entrance, a concession stand, and more. The Ministry of Tourism playing a major role in securing the deal, and the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, telling the Biminites that tourism is focused on ensuring that they build on the legacy of the former Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, the Honorable Obi Wilshcombe.
And therefore, we will continue to work to help you to build your product, to create more things to do and see for our guests who come, to create more opportunities for empowerment, and to continue to work with all of the stakeholders for a massive, sustainable beautification effort for the island of Bimini.
The CEO of Phoenix Infrastructure Advisory and Investment, Jeremy Eby, noting that the partnership with the Ministry of Tourism and the airport authorities is crucial. And as he addressed the audience, he highlighted the willingness of everyone involved working together to see the redesign come to fruition.
We are here to mark the official beginning of this new era for the airport, as well as the community of Bimini. For decades, Bimini International Airport has served as a gateway to the Bahamas, welcoming visitors from the United States and the world to its shores. It has stood as a testament to the Bahamian tradition of hospitality, vibrant culture, and rich heritage. However, the time has now come for transformation. The time has come for progress. The time has come to dream bigger and reach higher.
Now we reached out to residents who gave their thoughts on the major investment.
They're going to spend about $80 million
it sounds good. But I want to know that we need to leave some millionaires here in Bimini also, not to just all the money come in and all the money go out, and make sure the people are taken care of.
Thank you, God. Thank God for the investment that they're going to do here in Bimini with this airport, because it's going to be such a highlight and such a blessing for all.
It's going to be good opportunities for the residents of Bimini, and the tourism is going to expand even more.
Development is always good, you know, and there's always good and bad things. The island is growing. It's something that's needed here.
$50 million will cover the first phase of the project, followed by $30 million for completion. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
Well, 5 candidates officially moving one step closer to the bi-electoral process. Kingsley Smith, standard bearer for the Progressive Liberal Party; Bishop Ricardo Grant, a Free National Movement candidate; Lincoln Bain, a Coalition of Independents leader; and Independents Daquan Swain and Ternille Tadar Burrows, all successfully nominating at Mount Zion Baptist Church before returning officer Leonard Deems. Well, tonight we give an inside look at the declaration process, which is mandatory for each candidate to be eligible to run in an election. Our Aja Quant has the details.
The Coalition of Independents leader and candidate Lincoln Bain's financial disclosure includes a detailed breakdown of his assets, totaling $1.8 million. He holds $41,514 in a savings account, $750,000 in securities, $250,000 in accounts receivable, $600,000 in real estate, $20,000 representing the value of an automobile, and $175,000 in other personal assets. Bain's occupation is listed as a businessman with no declared salary. He also reported $20,000 in securities income, $42,000 in real estate income, and $50,400 in other income, while stating that he is debt-free. Kingsley Smith, the Progressive Liberal Party's candidate, declared assets totaling $377,000 with a net worth of $134,000. His assets include $200,000 in securities, $65,000 in accounts receivable, $52,000 for an automobile's value, and property valued at $60,000. In addition to his assets, Smith declared a salary of $34,750 and other income of $25,000, but he also revealed $243,000 in debts. Ricardo Grant, the Free National Movement's candidate, is reported to have assets totaling $151,598.69, with a net worth of $134,598.69. His assets include $8,598.69 in a savings account, $10,000 in securities, an automobile valued at $23,000, and other assets worth $110,000. Grant listed a salary of $28,800 and other income of $12,000, along with $17,000 in debts. Daquan Swain, a banker by profession, reported assets worth $75,000 and debts of $5,000. His assets include $5,000 in a savings account, $10,000 in current accounts, and an automobile valued at $60,000. Swain disclosed of a salary of $30,000 and other income of $35,000. Ternille Burrows, independent candidate, declaring assets totaling $14,518.38 with no debts. Her assets include $1,518.38 in current accounts, $10,000 in real estate, an automobile valued at $1,500, and a MacBook Pro valued at $1,500. She declared no salary and no other income. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Aja Quant.
Well, major concerns coming out here at the Harold R. de Gregory Building. Bahamas Public Service Union Northern Region Vice President Latoya Cartwright raising her voice on behalf of union members who alleges to have been suffering from what they believe is a mold issue. Well, our Ajaquan sat with the rep who says enough is enough.
She is standing for her members. Bahamas Public Service Union Vice President Latoya Cartwright calling out the powers that be here at the Harold R. de Gregory Building, claiming that many of her union members are out sick due to major issues, particularly allegations of mold. The rep is now calling for a resolution to this problem that has escalated since Hurricane Dorian in 2019.
I have copies of doctor slips and persons off sick with lung infection, and alleged report that independent studies were done and concluded that there are some 15 different types of mold in the building.
According to a local daily, Permanent Secretary Melvin Seymour responded to the claims that poor air quality due to dust particles from construction work in the building is a possible reason some have become sick. However, Cartwright is contesting this claim.
I walked around myself, saw visible mold-like appearances on almost every floor, every office that I've walked in that entire building. So you cannot say today that it's dust from persons doing work, because that work just started a few weeks ago.
The union rep says a meeting was held with the PS and minister, to which she was told that the building would close, but they were just waiting on the scope of work and a definitive date of the closure.
We had the meeting on Thursday, of which we confirmed that we have a situation in the building needs to shut down, but I was told that they were only waiting on the scope of work.
The scope of work that Cartwright was awaiting was specifically targeted at addressing the ceiling issues on the second floor as a result of the 2019 Hurricane Dorian. Cartwright revealing that she contacted Minister Ginger Moxie, who advised her to communicate with the permanent secretary due to her being in a cabinet meeting, to which she did but received
no response from him. That's by WhatsApp message, as he indicated he preferred, and also by phone call.
Now, Cartwright insists that she has exhausted every channel in search of a remedy. However, if a response is not forthcoming soon, she suggests that her union may take a different approach in addressing this pressing issue. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Azure Quant.
Well, the Minister for Grand Bahama is responding to the concerns of the union tonight through an issued press statement. The statement reads, "The health and safety of our dedicated workers is of paramount importance to the Ministry for Grand Bahama. When I was informed of suspected mold in the building, I promptly instructed my permanent secretary to take immediate action. Last week, I held a meeting with the BPSU, accompanied by my permanent secretary and our technical staff, to craft a comprehensive plan of action." The statement continues that we have been diligent in accommodating all requests for remote work, and the permanent secretary has initiated discussions with the secretary to the cabinet regarding the potential closure of the Harold de Gregory Building. All agencies within the Harold de Gregory Building have been duly informed about the challenges we face and the measures we intend to undertake. Our strategy includes a comprehensive cleaning and sterilization of all areas, coupled with a thorough inspection and, where necessary, the replacement of the HVAC system. During this essential process, the building will temporarily close. We expect all necessary work to be completed swiftly. The safety of workers remains our utmost priority. The statement continues that in addition to these immediate actions, we are committed to providing ongoing updates and maintaining open channels of communication with our workforce. We recognize the importance of transparency throughout this process, and we pledge to keep all employees well informed about our progress and any additional measures taken to ensure their well-being. The concerns of the employees hold great significance, and we are fully committed to addressing them effectively. We encourage all workers to engage with us, offering any further feedback or suggestions to enhance working conditions. Together, we can create a safer and more conducive environment for everyone. In other news, a freak accident occurred this morning at the East Mall Service gas station involving a single vehicle. According to a pump attendant, a female was behind the wheel of the vehicle when she plunged through the window of the gas station around 6 a.m. this morning.
Just by the corner, and I turned around. I saw this car. Seems that it wouldn't stop. It couldn't stop and race through the window and continue inside the store. And I looked around, and a young lady was inside the car.
Luckily, the lone occupant of the vehicle was not seriously injured, but the accident to many of the bystanders came as a surprise.
Yeah, she was in good health. She came out, and she after she reversed out, she came out of the car and she moved around and looked at the damage of the car. And next maybe 10, 15 minutes, the police was on the scene. But apparently, it seems that she didn't need no ambulance. She was in good health, walking around and talking.
In other news, a special unveiling ceremony hosted by the Grand Bahama Port Authority. The details straight ahead when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, returns.
You asked for it, you've got it. A new plant nursery, fully loaded with everything you need. And extended hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Are you ready? I'm ready.
I am ready.
I am ready. I am ready.
Ready or not, it's here. That's right, the biggest gospel show with me, Uncle T Baby Boy, on 8:10 a.m. That's right, interviews, greatest songs, praise and worship. It's going to be exciting. We're going to take the Bahamas to the world and bring the world to the Bahamas.
Officials announced early on that the curve of the country.
And cue.
And a fire had erupted at the entry.
All of the victims have lost their lives.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. A special unveiling ceremony taking place as a new statue was erected in the prominent area. The initiative led by the Grand Bahama Port Authority, drawing many to witness the auspicious occasion. Here's Jay Philippe with that report.
As the country continues to celebrate 50 years as an independent nation, the Grand Bahama Port Authority saw it fit to rename Churchill Square to now Independence Square with the unveiling of a new statue signifying unity in strength. The ceremony took place in the downtown area where many supporters attended. Music selections were performed, followed by Vice Chairman of GBPA, Sarah St. George, who reiterated the importance of the evening.
We and our whole GBPA team wanted to create a landmark in downtown Freeport, and we thought more than just naming this Independence Square, we should place a statue here depicting this famous scene for posterity.
Also on hand was President of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Ian Roll, who recalled the progress of the city of Freeport from the early 1970s to now highlighting the transformation of Grand Bahama.
Let us all continue to build on the efforts of our nation builders and our founding fathers by pledging to love each other and to stand united in matters of national importance despite our differences. Let us continue to lift our heads up high to the rising sun, till the road we trod leads unto our God. May God continue to bless our Bahama land.
Bringing remarks from the Butler family was Loretta Butler Turner, who traveled from New Providence for the unveiling of the statue and renaming of the square.
As we celebrate this 50th anniversary, you can all stand proudly
of all that you've contributed, because there are many men and women of valor that have come from Grand Bahama, that have helped to shape the future of what we hope to see happen, not just in Grand Bahama, but in the wider Bahamas.
After the unveiling was completed, the night ended with entertainment from the St. George's Pop Band, in addition to other entertainment. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jay Philippe.
Well, Mary Staub, the Sea Catholic Academy officially unveiled their branded new science lab fully stocked with state-of-the-art equipment. Director of Catholic Education Alexandria Roberts-Bowe and Principal Shannos Johnson say now the students can be even more engaged as the door to new experiments are now opened throughout this academic year and even in years to come.
This certainly speaks to our commitment to STEM and STEAM education and to the development of science within our schools.
The new equipment will help our students become more engaged in their science projects, and they have already started utilizing the science lab, and they will continue to do so. And we look forward to all of the wonderful experiments that they will do here in the biology lab.
On hand to lay a special blessing on the computer lab was Archbishop Patrick Pinder, who says they will remain committed to development of Catholic education here on the island and was thrilled to see this step finally completed.
One of the things we had to do was to build a science block. That's the block we're in now. And having built that science block, we had, of course, to furnish the labs. Up to now, we were only able to furnish one of those labs. Today, through the generous donation of one of our parishioners, we were able to furnish the second lab. For the Catholic Church, our education endeavor is our largest footprint in the social development of this country. We are very, very much committed to that, and we're very much committed to Catholic education here on the island of Grand Bahama.
Well, the Grand Bahama Home for the Aged and Children's Center is celebrating 33 years, and it's the Bahamas' first intergenerational institute. Thanks to the support of many contributors, the center has become a staple within the community, and recently they celebrated their anniversary by acknowledging those who played a pivotal role in their successes over the years. Founder and administrator Agatha Thompson says she couldn't be happier for the continued support.
We have been touched by the entire, from Wallace Grove, the Port Authority, to the lowest persons, the school children, the churches, the service clubs. It is truly a blessing, a ministry of love, because there's no one too small, and it's an intergenerational center where they interact with the elderly, because that is inspirational, that is therapeutic. That really keeps them going, and that lights up their day when they see the children, when they hear their laughter. So I just thank God that I couldn't do it alone, but they are my hands, they are my armor bearers.
Before he became the Dean Rector for Christ Church Cathedral, the Very Reverend Harry Bain's contributions to the home started when he was the Rector for Christ the King. He and Apostle Ann Grant have become spiritual backbones for the home and commended them for the role they play in caring for the aged and young people.
It was always a wonderful experience to come and to visit and to pray with the older persons who were here. And I think it's an excellent ministry in the community, because we have a number of persons who have elderly family members, maybe parents, grandparents, and they work, and they're unable to leave them at home.
Having a children's ministry in a home like this is going to bring about great inspiration for the aged. It makes them come to life again. And so I'm thankful that Agatha is committed to making the aged feel like they're not secondary citizens.
Your Tuesday Check on Sports is up next with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports. High School Volleyball Championship action got underway yesterday over in Abaco at the Agape Gymnasium. But let's begin with local baseball. Grand Bahama Little League baseball team traveled on the weekend to participate at the World Comes to Palm Beach's International Baseball Tournament in West Palm Beach. The team had an exceptional showing, coming back home with the overall tournament championship.
We had countries that participated with teams from Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Cayman Islands, and then there were 6 of the best traveled U.S. teams that participated in the country in the tournament as well, along with us, the Bahamas. We won the international side of the tournament, and we actually won the tournament overall. In the championship game, we won it over a very great USA Arsenal team. The team consisted of players from all around the United States.
From the time when I was playing baseball, it's like they got so much more to learn, and as far as they got so much more to work with, as far as equipment, facility, and even from past mistakes, you know. So I feel like they the new Grand Bahama. When it comes to baseball, they the new baseball thing that's going on in Grand Bahama.
Switching gears now in sports, scores some high school volleyball championship action over in Abaco. In junior boys play, Agape defeated Forest Heights in 3 sets to take game 1 of that series 25-16, 25-13, and 25-17. Over in senior girls action, Agape won again over Patrick J. Bethel in 3 sets 25-23, 25-22, and 25-11 to lead that series. And finally in senior boys, Agape took the first 2 sets 25-22, 25-17, but would lose the third set 25-23. However, the Eagles would come back to take set 4 25-14 to win the match to take that series 1-0. Championship action will resume on Wednesday. And finally in sports, scores from the Grand Bahama Amateur Softball League Championships, the Royal Bahamas Police Force took a 3-2 lead in the best of 7 series, winning 16-9 on the weekend in corporate play. And in all-men action, Pat's Uniform defeated CLA Hitters 24-14 to tie that series at 3 games apiece. Ladies and gents, that's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
Super S Motor Oil products now available at KMW Battery and Tires, Express Food Mart, Stop and Shop, and Chappie's Gas Station, 8 Mile Rock.
Health officials announced early on that the curve of the 4th wave has been flattened.
Standby talent. 2 and cue.
We have a dynamic team of diverse, enthusiastic journalists committed to uncovering the truth and delivering it with zeal and integrity.
Electoral confirms that the victim's body was found by an individual who was involved in the search.
We tell the heartwarming tales of resilience and success, from local politics to cultural events. We have it covered. Azure coming live from Bimini tonight for our top story. We are your trusted source in the North. We are ZNS Northern Edition.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Katie said you are our Facebook friend of the day. We trust that you enjoyed your birthday, and we say thank you for your support. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Join the ZNS Network for primetime coverage of the Progressive Liberal Party's 55th National Convention, Thursday, November 9th and Friday, November 10th at 8 p.m. Tune in to hear the PLP's message for the Bahamian people. That's Thursday, November 9th and Friday, November 10th at 8 p.m. The Progressive Liberal Party's 55th National Convention on ZNS.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Join the ZNS Network for primetime coverage of the Progressive Liberal Party's 55th National Convention, Thursday, November 9th and Friday, November 10th at 8 p.m. Tune in to hear the PLP's message for the Bahamian people. That's Thursday, November 9th and Friday, November 10th at 8 p.m. The Progressive Liberal Party's 55th National Convention on ZNS.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, Shantytown chaos. Would-be criminal shot dead. Stolen bike notes alert. And in sports, Mingo's court action. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lopinder, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. A day later, and a stark contrast between yesterday's orderly and otherwise uneventful demolition exercise at the Cool Acres Shantytown and today's chaotic, highly charged and dramatic events at a Carmichael Road unregulated site. Corval Pyfram has the images and the details.
Today they come, a month ago they gave us a notice to move out.
Natasha Pierre and her 5 children, who range from ages 2 to 15, aren't sure where they will spend the night. As demolition started Tuesday at the Butler's Way Shantytown, she makes a desperate, almost painful plea for more time.
They supposed to come yesterday or day before to tell us, just get ready to move out. They ain't supposed to just come here this morning just to break them places down where they want us to go.
But Natasha, you admit that they did give you notice.
Yes, they gave us a notice. But they gotta give us time. We're in the Bahamas. Where we supposed to find place to go? Everywhere you go, you can't find an apartment. You understand? If you find an apartment, if you have 4 or 5 kids, they ain't gonna rent it to you.
How much time would have been enough time?
Pardon me?
How much time would have been enough time?
How much time would have been enough time? At least they could have given us a month, 1 more month.
The land where the Shantytown sits is owned by the Milo Butler Corporation, which says it has been dealing with illegal occupants on its 8-acre property for decades. There have been numerous attempts to remove them humanely and peacefully. However, the owners say the occupants' failure to move ultimately forced their hands. The next step was action through the courts. Dennis Williams is counsel for the landowners.
It's a very unfortunate situation that did not develop overnight, but the law has to take its course. You can't have persons living on land like that in a commonwealth where other persons have to deal with obligations to stay on land.
And so despite loud objections, exchanges that at times looked like they may turn physical, the tearing down of these structures continued. Residents packed up the contents from their homes and reluctantly, in many cases, began moving out.
No, I think they should have waited until the new year, or at least give people a chance to celebrate the holidays before they do it, and then they have the whole of next year starting from January. January 1st, tear it down.
I don't know where in the world you could go, squat up on people's land, don't pay no light bill, no water bill, none of these things, no rent, no nothing, and think you have a right to be on another man's property.
And in no time, a dramatic turn of events. A temporary relief of sorts for residents here at the Butler's Shantytown as Police Superintendent Stephen Carey arrives on the scene, temporarily shutting down these demolition exercises. How much time and temporary relief this buys these residents still remains to be seen. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfram.
Now, the Unregulated Communities Action Task Force putting it on record that the demolition of certain structures off Carmichael Road had nothing to do with them, but rather emanated from a Supreme Court civil action between the Milo Butler Corporation and the unnamed occupants of the land. Further, the writ of possession was executed by the Provost Marshal. The demolition of these structures then was a private matter. Well, with no one and nowhere to turn, Shantytown residents are faced with a real conundrum. What compounds the problem is that, according to Victory Chapel of the Nazarene pastor Antoine St. Louis, there's no room for local Haitian churches to physically assist. Rather, that has come in some other form.
You know, some of those churches are small. They don't have there's no places where you can say, okay, you can house them for space purposes, which we don't have, because the only way is to keep them inside the church, and you know you have services, there's family, you have the facility with shower and things like that to make that provision. They have not come to us. We went to them and see what we can do. We talked to them to encourage them.
Now, with a number of Shantytown residents claiming they have nowhere to go in the face of demolition, Human Rights Bahamas warns the government of a humanitarian crisis should it fail to put provisions in place to shelter and support those impacted. In an editorial to a local daily, HRB cites that carrying out this exercise in the absence of a comprehensive support plan would constitute a violation of international human rights regulations and multilateral treaties to which the Bahamas is a signatory. Human Rights Bahamas calls on the government then to disclose its plan to feed, house, and care for those it intends to displace. Well, temporary housing at an undisclosed location being provided for Bahamian residents, or at the very least those who can show proof of residency here in the Bahamas after their Shantytown homes were demolished this week. John Public, however, has an entirely different view, a few of whom shared their opinions with our LaDon Davis.
One gentleman said that he was living in the Shantytown from 1962. That's how long the Shantytowns were around.
It's troubling scenarios like this that gets very little empathy from the Providence resident Alexander Cooper, who says there are hundreds of people still living in these unregulated communities, but for whatever reason are hesitant to get their business in order.
A system is kind of burdensome for the Bahamian people at large. They was given ample time to leave, and even though they was given time, I think that time was extended once before, and now is the time.
Kristen Major says it pierced her heart to hear a mother of 6 cry out on social media that she's homeless after knowing full well what she was up against. She maintains that although the children are innocent, the mother felt a sense of entitlement and turned a blind eye to the laws of this country.
I think the government should not assist them because they had time already to prepare for what's coming. Even in America, like when we in America, you gotta abide by America laws. I feel like they come and they just be outlaws. She can go where she belongs. You understand? Because they come here and they know their kids aren't from here and they purposely have kids. And it's hard for us who have kids and we're trying to get land in our own country.
But contrary to what Bahamians may think, according to the Department of Social Services, many of those residents left displaced are permanent residents and employed.
A team of officers from our department would have visited the Cool Acres site, and we would have interviewed persons who were in possession of permanent status, permanent resident status, or who may have been in possession of Bahamian passport. We did find a few Bahamians living in that Shantytown, as they say, or undocumented community, and those persons would have been already assisted with shelter. And we would have come across a total of 8 persons in that particular category. There were a large number of persons who were in possession of a work permit. And we do not assist persons with work permit, as the employers of those persons are responsible for providing housing for them. Okay, and those 8 persons, we would have had a total of 14 adults, 12 adults, and 14 children. And those persons who may require assistance, maybe with rent assistance, we do provide that also in the amount of $1,200. Another team would have gone into All Saints Way last week, and we would have interviewed a number of 18 families, which will be comprised of about 57 adults and 20 children.
We've made arrangements for placement for persons who need the placement. Those would be persons who are, of course, Bahamian citizens or persons who are permit holders who have status here in the country. And that is what we are prepared to do from this moment forward.
ZNS News has learned that the mother of 6 rejected the offer of rental and temporary housing accommodations from the Department of Social Services for unknown reasons. But in the meantime, those who have accepted the offer have about 2 to 3 months to find a permanent place to call home. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDon Davis.
Well, former Prime Minister, the Honorable Perry Christie, is in Haiti tonight as one of CARICOM's 3-member CARICOM Imminent Persons Group focused on assisting Haitian stakeholders to bring stability to that troubled island nation. Haiti's story, an all too familiar one of growing social disorder. According to the United Nations, crime, including murders, rapes, kidnappings, and lynchings, have risen. Haiti has been in a downward spiral since the assassination of its president, Jovenel Moïse, back in 2021. The EPG's last visit in Haiti didn't end well. A statement from CARICOM at the time noted that the group was disappointed that the tone of the discussions had hardened and that the positions of some stakeholders had regressed significantly. The EPG remained hopeful, though, that with determination and goodwill, the interest of Haiti would be the overriding concern of all stakeholders. Still to come, a new school opens. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Full Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank.
The new KFC nuggets have arrived. That unlike the no-gets, ours are handmade using 100% white meat. Unlike the no-gets, at KFC, we hand bread every day to achieve the perfect flavor. After you try our delicious and crispy nuggets in the original recipe, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity.
It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it.
My sales increase, and I can track my earnings.
Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today.
Call 356-7764.
Mario thought he could have his cake and eat it too. He almost found out the hard way that if you don't insure your home for the full replacement value, when it comes time to make a claim, you won't get the full payout. It's called the condition of average. If your $200,000 home is destroyed by a hurricane, but you only insured it for $100,000, half the value, you'll only get half of that $100,000 payout. Actually, less than that. because there's also a deductible which will be deducted from your payout. Check your home insurance policy for the condition of average clause and ask your insurance agent or broker how condition of average would affect you. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, protecting the interests of policyholders.
You can find it all at Builders Mall. From cement, lumber, block, plumbing, and electrical to paint, lights, vanities, and tiles. Not to mention all the tools you could possibly need to get the job done. Say if you're starting a major project, adding the finishing touches, or just doing some repair or rental work around the house. FYP, the Paint Center, and Tile King can help. Stop by or call 601-8453. Located 69 Wolf Road, Nassau. You can find it all at Builders Mall. Building, painting, and tiling, the Bahamas.
Got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
Based on what was submitted in black and white Monday, of the 5 candidates vying to become the next representative for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency, one's net worth far surpasses the others. Tonight, Azure Quant of our Northern Service gives us an inside look at the declaration process.
The Coalition of Independents leader and candidate Lincoln Baines' financial disclosure includes a detailed breakdown of his assets, totaling $1.8 million. He holds $41,514 in a savings account, $750,000 in securities, $250,000 in accounts receivable, $600,000 in real estate, $20,000 representing the value of an automobile, and $175,000 in other personal assets. Baines' occupation is listed as a businessman with no declared salary. He also reported $20,000 in securities income, $42,000 in real estate income, and $50,400 in other income, while stating that he is debt-free. Kingsley Smith, the Progressive Liberal Party's candidate, declared assets totaling $377,000 with a net worth of $134,000. His assets include $200,000 in securities, $65,000 in accounts receivable, $52,000 for an automobile's value, and property valued at $60,000. In addition to his assets, Smith declared a salary of $34,750 and other income of $25,000, but he also revealed $243,000 in debts. Ricardo Grant, the Free National Movement's candidate, is reported to have assets totaling $151,598.69, with a net worth of $134,598.69. His assets include $8,598.69 in a savings account, $10,000 in securities, an automobile valued at $23,000, and other assets worth $110,000. Grant listed a salary of $28,800 and other income of $12,000, along with $17,000 in debts. Jaquan Swain, a banker by profession, reported assets worth $75,000 and debts of $5,000. His assets include $5,000 in a savings account, $10,000 in current accounts, and an automobile valued at $60,000. Swain disclosed of a salary of $30,000 and other income of $35,000. Ternille Burrows, independent candidate, declaring assets totaling $14,518.38 with no debts. Her assets include $1,518.38 in current accounts, $10,000 in real estate, an automobile valued at $1,500, and a MacBook Pro valued at $1,500. She declared no salary and no other income. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Azure Quant.
In other news this evening, there's now another option to privately school children. A ribbon-cutting ceremony held today, officially opening the Lyford Key edition. Carla Palmer reports.
Following a tour of the newest private educational institution in country, King's College Bahamas in Lyford Key, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, prior to officially cutting the ribbon, noted his satisfaction.
The selection of high-quality educational institutions in this country officially expands by one. King's College Bahamas, as part of the Global Inspired Network, brings with it a rich history of academic excellence spanning over 5 decades. It is this legacy that underpins our confidence in its potential to shape the future of education in our country.
More specifically, Prime Minister Davis optimistically inspired by the school's offerings of its comprehensive, holistic, transformative, and outlined approach to education.
What sets the school apart is its commitment to the development of well-rounded individuals. As you know, my administration, although working with a broad population of students, shares a similar philosophy when it comes to the holistic development of our children and our youth. The challenges may be different, but the goals are the same. We want children from every school, every neighborhood, every walk of life, and every island to be equipped with the knowledge, tools, and skills they need to thrive.
King's College opened in 2022 with a student enrollment of 350. It is reportedly the only school in the region said to be part of a leading group of premium schools with some 80,000 students enrolled across 6 continents. Nadeem Nasoli is the founder, chairman, and executive chief officer.
I wanted a school in the region that competes with the finest educational institutions in London, New York, and Singapore. King's College School is that school. Having a school on the island that is quality inspired means that our students will benefit from global best practices, sharing knowledge and experiences with 110 inspired schools worldwide.
The state-of-the-art facility sits on 10 acres with specifically designed classrooms, a variety of outdoor spaces to encourage physical activity, including a 25-meter swimming pool, tennis courts and football pitches, a multi-purpose auditorium, dining areas, a cafe for parents, students, and teachers. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
The Caribbean, known for its unique marine resources, and it's on that premise that countries of the Gulf and Caribbean Fisheries Institute are exchanging ideas and perspectives on emerging research and science directly relevant to its management and governance. Lloyd Allen picks it up from there.
On Monday, delegates from around the region converging at the Atlantis Resort to participate in the 76th Annual Gulf and Caribbean Fisheries Institute Conference. During the event, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis was the keynote speaker, and during his address, he lauded industry experts who continue in the fight of preserving the environment.
By bringing the research methods of science to the agents of society so intimately involved in our fisheries, we stand to gain not only historical insights, but a valuable awareness of what is happening each day on the water.
During his address, Prime Minister Davis lauded the accomplishments in the blue economy both here at home and abroad through programs like the Marine Stewardship Council Spiny Lobster certification.
Bahamian spiny lobster was the first Caribbean fishery to achieve this renowned certification, which verifies that the fishery has sustainable stocks, enjoys a healthy ecosystem and habitat, and is being responsibly managed.
The Institute seeks to strengthen blue economies where much of the GDP is generated through fisheries-related products. This is particularly true For the Bahamas.
In 2015, the exports of fish and fishery products accounted for 31% of Bahamian exports, generating some $80 million annually. Exports in the sector are a valuable source of foreign currency, and even more significantly, they have produced a positive trade balance.
Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources is the Honorable Jomo Campbell, adding on the intended long-term objective of this event.
We want to make sure we get the expertise of all of these persons who are here. We have persons from over 30 countries represented. They are scientists, conservationists, environmentalists, and we have to find ways, as the theme for this conference is, to marry the technology, the science with sustainable practice to ensure that our marine resources are here to benefit the future generations of the Bahamas.
Climate change, stony coral tissue loss disease, fish spawning aggregations, and sustaining habitats and ecosystems all up for discussion throughout the week. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
In crime news this evening, a recurring theme in today's homicide. A 33-year-old known to police was shot in the vicinity of DeVoe Street shortly before 10 this morning. Responding officers found out the victim had been standing in front of a building when two gunmen exited a white Japanese vehicle. The perpetrators pursued the victim where they opened fire on him, resulting in the victim being shot several times. The culprits, we're told, escaped in the vehicle. Police said the wounded man was on bail for several drug-related matters. He was taken to hospital in a private vehicle, and it's there at the hospital that he died. Police are appealing to anyone who may have additional information to contact 911, 919, the Criminal Investigations Department at 502-9991, 2 or 3, or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS, and that's 328-8477. Meantime, a planned celebration ends in a surprise shooting last night in the Key West Street community. Corval Pyfrom reports that one man is dead, another nursing gunshot wounds, and a community incensed by the incident.
This woman, who gave us just her first name, Willa Mae, wrestles to find the words to describe the horror unexpectedly thrusted upon her and her relatives Monday night.
Oh, my God. Oh, my, it's horrifying. Woo, never, ever in my life see that happen.
Willa Mae was at her family's homestead on Key West Street. There was a small gathering outside. She says her family was there celebrating a birthday just after 8.
Same car, he said, y'all ain't gonna move. And it was like my niece took me, and my niece said, yes, y'all come inside. And Willa Mae, y'all come inside the house. We'd already run because it's close to the road in the back. So
Police Press Liaison Officer Chief Superintendent Chrislyn Skippings providing more details.
The deceased was along with a second male who pulled in front of this residence in a dark-colored vehicle. Both men exited the vehicle and opened fire on a male who was standing on the side of a residence in the yard just behind me. During the exchange, or during the barrage, I should say, of gunshot, the deceased was shot by his own accomplice. The accomplice left the area in an unknown direction. Another male who was in the yard doing some work, he was shot to his arm, and he has been taken to hospital.
Police say patrols in areas like Key West Street and other high-risk crime areas across the island are up. They say that programs they've implemented are seeing positive net gains, but they readily admit that the police cannot go at it alone. They need all hands on deck. While residents in Key West Street are applauding police's efforts, they seem less optimistic, though, of any significant turnaround.
The police are the gatekeepers of the criminal justice system. The only way the system is going to be properly effective if all parts of the criminal justice system function.
It's the problem with the young youth of the day that think that they can take the law into their own hands, do what they want to do, and wherever they want to do it.
We need more police to be in the area watching, because this is some dangerous time, and you have to have more police to be watching.
And so after a frantic night here in the Key West Street area, residents beginning to find some calm again. Police, meanwhile, appealing to anyone who may have any information that can assist their investigation to come forward. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pfeiffer.
We can also tell you that the circumstances surrounding an alleged attempted suicide here in the capital are under active investigation. Police say it was around 4:20 Monday afternoon that they received a report that a 20-year-old woman was at her Eastern New Providence home when she ingested over-the-counter medication in an attempt to take her own life. EMS were called in and the woman taken to hospital where she is under close observation. The Central Bank is putting you on alert in the wake of Thursday's armored car robbery, during which banknotes were stolen. Bundles of Series 2022 $10, Series 2018 $20, Series 2006 and 2009 $50, and Series 2009 2021 $100 banknotes were swiped. Officials warned that those very same notes may very well be in circulation. And that's exactly why you're to pay attention. If you believe you have stolen banknotes or even suspect suspicious activity relates to these notes, reach out to the Commercial Crime Unit of the Criminal Investigations Department, and that number is 322-4191 or 501-9991 or 2. Marcellus Hall joins us in studio with a check on what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in sports for this evening, the UB Mingo is putting on a show for their homecoming game. We'll give you details just ahead in sports.
The fastest fiber covering the Bahamas. Do more, pay more, stream more with BTC.
Our Northern Services Senior Executive Manager, Dominic Petty, is back at it again. Dominic paid a visit recently to the Rotary Club of Lucaya in Grand Bahama.
Today at our luncheon meeting, we had the awesome presence of having Mr. Dominic Petty, who is the General Manager for the Northern Bahamas for BTC, address us on the fiber system that is coming to the island of Grand Bahama. He gave us information about the fiber coming to the homes, to businesses. So we want the customers on Grand Bahama to know, and those who might be interested in having fiber to the home or even to your businesses, get in touch with BTC. Fiber is here.
The current services I have with BTC is internet and phone. How I came to know about BTC services, they actually had a fund day in my area, and they provided me with the various options available with the fiber services, and I was wowed by BTC's customer service. BTC's fiber services, would I recommend it? Of course I would.
My services here are inclusive of the telephone and internet. The service was installed in a very timely manner. The customer service was impeccable. When they came to the front door, everyone was nice and courteous. The service is super fast, and I would definitely recommend it to my neighbors, my family members, anyone inquiring. I would definitely recommend the services.
Grand Bahama is feeling fiber, and our friends up there are rejoicing. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, BTC unstoppable. Be well, and be back here next. BTC Connection.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs, using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Step 1. Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a Sand Dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving Sand Dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services.
We are pleased to be
your Central Bank approved
digital wallet providers. It does not matter
which of us you choose.
You can pay for goods and services
wherever Sand Dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together.
Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
A lot of what we consume here in the Bahamas comes directly from our waters, and that's why efforts to safekeep them and the industries that thrive from them are very important. And in light of this, a number of individuals from across the region are gathering under one roof to do just that. I'm Leah Cooper, and this is Good to Grow.
Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. Got that fence good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
The 76th Gulf and Caribbean Fisheries Institute Conference kicked off yesterday and will span to the end of this week. During this time, stakeholders will discuss and exchange ideas on emerging research and science to ensure a sustainable future of the region's fisheries and marine resources. Agriculture and Marine Resources Minister Jomo Campbell, during his remarks, labeled this a landmark event.
This gathering of more than 300 fisheries and environmental experts from around the world signifies our shared commitment to the preservation and sustainable management of our precious marine resources. The Gulf and Caribbean region boasts some of the most diverse and vibrant ecosystems on our planet. It is home to an abundance of marine life, providing livelihoods and sustenance for countless communities. However, it also faces numerous challenges, such as climate change, habitat loss due to stony coral tissue loss disease, and overfishing. All the issues that require our immediate attention and collective action.
Prime Minister Philip Davis, in his keynote address, highlights the importance of these efforts.
In 2015, the exports of fish and fishery products accounted for 31% of Bahamian export, generating some $80 million annually. Exports in the sector are a valuable source of foreign currency, and even more significantly, they have produced a positive trade balance. This, my friends, is the anomaly, and we want more anomalies like this for our import-dependent economy. Our fisheries represent our heritage, our culture, and our way of life. Our foodways are undeniably tied to our maritime inheritance. Boiled fish, our national dish, and cow salad, a long-standing staple, both come from the sea. Don't even get me started on fried snappers, steamed crawfish, and steamed carp. So much of what we eat in the Bahamas comes from our waters. And when harvested responsibly, these products represent a constant renewable resource.
That said, Minister Campbell expressed his gratitude for all parties involved in putting together this effort.
From developing harvest strategies to communication and education, we are fortunate to have esteemed experts who will be sharing their valuable insights and research findings with us. The connections we forge here today can pave the way for future partnerships, joint initiatives, and the exchange of best practices. Together, we can further enhance cooperation and work towards the preservation and sustainable use of Gulf and Caribbean fisheries resources.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
It's a different kind of Christmas, but everything is here to bring a smile upon your face. That's what the season brings. Yeah. See, Christmas time is the time for your family and friends. Come and shop with us and find everything that you need. Deck out your homes with all we have in store, bringing joy and so much more. And shop Smarty, and shop Smart, and shop Smart. Oh, everything is here at Shop Smart. And shop Smart, and shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster.
Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Shanae's Chesapeake Road Christmas Wonderland is open under the Big Tent. Get your Christmas trees in pink, frosted, green, or white in a variety of sizes. Musical Christmas LED and laser lights, a large variety of tree ornaments, lighted angels and Santa tree toppers, bright and lively colored Christmas balls in all sizes, garlands, wreaths, tree skirts, stockings, and lots more. Add flowers, picks, and decorative mesh to brighten up your home or office this holiday season. And don't forget the toys at Janae's Chesapeake Road. Check our selections online at www.janae's.com.
With 3 or more vehicles looking for the perfect fueling solution? Well, look no further.
I can go to any Rubis service station and get fast and easy service without any form of payment.
I can top up my fuel account and generate reports anytime online.
We at Wildflowers enjoy significant savings from fraud reduction. The Rubis system provides optimum security and peace of mind.
Email bahamashales@rubis-bahamas.com to sign up now.
Things are looking real good for Bahamas Striping's Let's Make a Difference feeding initiative. The company's locked in another partner in its ambitious push to feed 10,000 people for Thanksgiving, November 23rd. Now on board the campaign is Insurance Management, whose Vice President and Director, Anton Seeley, says as a community-minded organization that values its clients, chipping in was a no-brainer.
When we were approached by the principals of Bahamas Striping, a group of companies who themselves are a very valued client of ours, with this initiative, we thought it was an ideal opportunity for us to participate, to, again, give back to the community that we serve and who serve us well by patronizing our business. So it was really not a difficult decision for us to make. As we know, food in this country is very expensive. The cost of living is very expensive, and we have an opportunity to, as I said, give back to those who are less fortunate than we are. And it was, for Insurance Management, not a very difficult decision at all.
Now, as for its donation, the company will turn over hams and turkeys to the Bahamas Feeding Network, part and parcel of the distribution process.
There is nothing more fundamental to human existence than food. You could even live without shelter. You could even live without clothes. I know you get locked up, but at least you're still alive, right? But if you don't eat, you will die. It's as simple as that. So we see our mission, our ministry, our job, our role, our calling to be one to feed as many people as we possibly can. Needless to say, that takes money. And you see here, we have a storeroom and a good bit of stuff, but there's always room for much more. In fact, we're getting ready to do a distribution. That's why you see stuff in here. Within another week or so, all of this will be gone and it will be empty again, and we will need to replenish that. So the Bahamas Striping group of companies has partnered with us for several times now, and we thank them for their initiative, and I just urge people to support them in what they are doing as they give to us in order for us to give to others. Needless to say, many, despite a good economy in certain areas, there are still many people who are hurting, many people who are hungry.
British Legion Bahamas branch, Comrade Vernon Pinder, surviving Bahamian World II veteran, age 98. The British Legion Bahamas branch salutes surviving Bahamian World War II veteran, Comrade Vernon Pinder, currently resides on the island of New Providence, Bahamas, and is an active registered member of the British Legion Bahamas branch. He is one of 3 remaining Bahamian World II veterans registered with the British Legion Bahamas branch. He served in Her Majesty's Royal Air Force 77 years ago as an aircraft engineer. He was based at the Oaksfield Camp on the island of New Providence, Bahamas.
Well, now time for the poll of the week, and this week we're asking, should jitney drivers be granted a 25-cent increase in bus fare? You can chime in on our social media handles.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
Introducing Rheem Hot Wave, the multi-purpose hose sprayer that never runs out of hot water. Hot Wave heats water instantly using tankless water heating technology to provide continuous hot water outdoors whenever and wherever. Hot Wave is simple to use. Just plug and play with any garden hose and outdoor power outlet. See for yourself how Rheem Hot Wave is safe, easy to use, and provides hot water outdoors.
Join the ZNS Network for primetime coverage of the Progressive Liberal Party's 55th National Convention, Thursday, November 9th and Friday, November 10th at 8 p.m. Tune in to hear the PLP's message for the Bahamian people. That's Thursday, November 9th and Friday, November 10th at 8 p.m. The Progressive Liberal Party's 55th National Convention on ZNS.
Have you ever purchased a defective item and was denied an exchange or cash refund? Contact the Consumer Protection Commission at 393-7795-8 or our 24-hour complaints hotline at 357-7898 and let us help your voice be heard.
Hey, get up, stand up. Stand up for your right.
Do you hear that? That's Junkanoo. And that means that the Boxing Day and New Year's Day Junkanoo parades are right around the corner. Don't get left behind. Make sure to book your ads in the live ZNS broadcast of the Junkanoo Parades, the most professional coverage of our national art form. Call the ZNS sales office today at 502-3800. Ask for the special Junkanoo advertising package and be a part of Junkanoo on the ZNS TV network.
Samantha's always on point. She doesn't miss a thing. When she signs up for any insurance policy, she reads all the fine print. She knows what's covered, what's not covered, and she's aware of her deductibles. When When it comes to insurance, it pays to know your policy. Review every insurance policy so you know what you're covered for. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas.
Focus being placed on increasing airlift, especially in the Family Islands. Tourism's Deputy Director General and Director of Aviation, Dr. Kenneth Romer, speaks more to those plans.
Our major challenge right now is persons are going to be asking, where can we put the heads in the beds? And then the second one, of course, is airport infrastructure. The government, again, has been very intentional about the renaissance of our family island airports. So you're aware that there were some 14 airports that fell under a PPP arrangement outside of your Grand Bahama and other airports. So I believe that we have reinvigorated the priority on addressing the state of our airport infrastructure.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather, and for that we turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishla. Outside of our studios, mostly clear skies, temperature at 79 degrees, the relative humidity 71%. We have northeast winds at 8 miles per hour, the barometric pressure of 1,015.7 millibars. That is 29.99 inches. And your temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 77 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Green Tulkey and Abaco, Marsh Harbor at 78. 78 also in the Berry Islands, Alistown, Bimini, 81 degrees, in Harbour Island, 79, and that extends into Roxanne, Eleuthera. Otterstown, Cat Island reporting 78, 80 degrees in Black Point, Exuma, Kemps Bay, South Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. Otterstown, Cat Island, 78 degrees there. San Salvador, 78. Rum Key, 78 as well. Georgetown, Exuma, warmer at 80 degrees, 81s in Ragged Island. Clarence Sound, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands, Matchitown, and Agua, 84, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 83 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. For all areas tonight through Wednesday, northeast winds, so speed's going to be around 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide takes place at 9:50 tonight. Another low tide at 10:08 tomorrow morning. And then on Thursday in the northwestern islands, we pick up an easterly flow at 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights holding at 2 to 4 feet. Low tide 10:57 in the morning. High tide 4:54 in the afternoon. Now for the central and southeastern islands on Thursday, winds increasing out of the east, 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights building 3 to 6 feet. So we'll post caution flags for your boaters in the central and southeastern islands on Thursday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Want to have your voice heard? Send your letters to the editor to digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. Share your thoughts on current events or positive stories within your community. That's digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. We want to hear from you.
Hello, everyone. This is Tony Williams back with a special promotion from BahamasAir.com and GoGo Florida. The $100 deposit is back, but it's only on your debit card. So whether you're renting that sedan, SUV, or spacious minivan for group or family trips, keep your cash in your pocket. Only Dollar Thrifty is making it convenient for you. Your $100 deposit held on your debit card. Available at Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, and Orlando. Book early and save your 8-passenger minivan for your holiday shopping spree.
The
most important thing in life is family. And whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind. It's a different kind of Christmas, but everything is here to bring a smile upon your face. That's what the season brings now. See, Christmas time is the time for your family and friends. Come and shop with us and find everything that you need. Deck out your homes with all we have in store, bringing joy and so much more. And shop Smarty, and shop Smart, and shop Smart. Oh, everything is here at Shop Smart. And shop Smart, and shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
Things are looking real good for Bahamas Striping's Let's Make a Difference feeding initiative. The company's locked in another partner in its ambitious push to feed 10,000 people for Thanksgiving, November 23rd. Now on board the campaign is Insurance Management, whose Vice President and Director, Anton Seeley, says as a community-minded organization that values its clients, chipping in was a no-brainer.
When we were approached by the principals of Bahamas Striping, a group of companies who themselves are a very valued client of ours, with this initiative, we thought it was an ideal opportunity for us to participate, to, again, give back to the community that we serve and who serve us well by patronizing our business. So it was really not a difficult decision for us to make. As we know, food in this country is very expensive. The cost of living is very expensive, and we have an opportunity to, as I said, give back to those who are less fortunate than we are. And it was, for Insurance Management, not a very difficult decision at all.
Now, as for its donation, the company will turn over hams and turkeys to the Bahamas Feeding Network, part and parcel of the distribution process.
There is nothing more fundamental to human existence than food. You could even live without shelter. You could even live without clothes. I know you get locked up, but at least you're still alive, right? But if you don't eat, you will die. It's as simple as that. So we see our mission, our ministry, our job, our role, our calling to be one to feed as many people as we possibly can. Needless to say, that takes money. And you see here, we have a storeroom and a good bit of stuff, but there's always room for much more. In fact, we're getting ready to do a distribution. That's why you see stuff in here. Within another week or so, all of this will be gone and it will be empty again, and we will need to replenish that. So the Bahamas Striping group of companies has partnered with us for several times now, and we thank them for their initiative, and I just urge people to support them in what they are doing as they give to us in order for us to give to others. Needless to say, many, despite a good economy in certain areas, there are still many people who are hurting, many people who are hungry.
Legion Bahamas branch, Comrade Vernon Pinder, surviving Bahamian World II veteran, age 98. The British Legion Bahamas branch salutes surviving Bahamian World War II veteran, Comrade Vernon Pinder. Currently resides on the island of New Providence, Bahamas, and is an active registered member of the British Legion Bahamas branch. He is one of 3 remaining Bahamian World II veterans registered with the British Legion Bahamas branch. He served in Her Majesty's Royal Air Force 77 years ago as an aircraft engineer. He was based at the Oaksfield Camp on the island of New Providence, Bahamas.
Well, now time for the poll of the week, and this week we're asking, should jitney drivers be granted a 25-cent increase in bus fare? You can chime in on our social media handles.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
First we plan, then we innovate, then we build.